Jack Morgan was mucking out the stalls when he heard the horses stirring nervously. He straightened up all 6 feet 4 inches of him and listened. Someone was in his barn. He moved quietly for a big man. Years of working cattle had taught him patience and stealth. What he found made him stop dead in his tracks. A young woman with copper-red hair sat huddled in the hay beside his paint mare. Her dress was torn and muddy. Bruises darkened her pale arms. Blood stained her knees where she'd fallen. Her green eyes were wide with terror when she saw him. "Please," she gasped. "Please don't send me back." Jack raised his hand, slowly showing he meant no harm. "Easy now. Nobody's sending you anywhere." "What happened to you?" The woman trembled violently. "They're looking for me. 3 men on horses. They'll be here soon. They said they'd drag me back and make me pay for running." Jack's jaw tightened. He knew what that meant. He'd seen enough cruelty in his 32 years to recognize a desperate soul when he saw one. "Who are you running from?" he asked gently. "Oh, Michael," she whispered. "He sold me to a man named Taggart. A cruel man. I was supposed to marry him tomorrow, but I couldn't. I ran." Her voice broke. "Taggart said if I tried to leave, he'd hunt me down. He said nobody would help me because I'm just property." He paid good money for rage burned in Jack's chest. He'd grown up alone in these mountains. His size had always set him apart. People called him the lonely giant. Children feared him. Women avoided his gaze. He'd learned to live with solitude. But this girl sitting broken in his barn stirred something protective in him he didn't know he still had. "What's your name?" he asked. "Anna," she replied. "Anna Hayes." Jack heard horses outside. Shouts. 3 riders, by the sound of it. They were circling his property. He made a decision. "Stand up," he said firmly. Anna scrambled to her feet, wincing at her injuries. Jack pulled off his worn leather vest and draped it over her shoulders. Then he took her hand. His calloused palms dwarfed her small fingers. "If they ask," he said, looking straight into her eyes, "you're my wife now. Understand?" Anna stared at him in shock. "What? No time to explain? Just follow my lead." The barn door burst open. 3 hard-looking men stomped inside, led by a stocky man with mean eyes and a silver tooth. "Taggart, we're looking for a runaway girl." Taggart snarled. "Red hair, wearing a brown dress. You seen her?" Jack positioned himself between the men and Anna. He kept his voice calm, but there was steel underneath. "That would be my wife you're describing." Taggart's eyes narrowed. "Your wife." "That's right," Jack said evenly. "We got married 3 days ago in Silver Creek. Judge Harmon performed the ceremony. You got a problem with that?" He held Anna's hand tighter. She was shaking, but she stood tall beside him, playing the part. "That's a lie," Taggart spat. "Her uncle sold her to me, fair and square. I paid $200 for her." Jack's expression went cold. "You can't sell a human being, and you sure as hell can't buy one. My wife chose to marry me of her own free will. That trumps any arrangement you think you had." "I want proof," Taggart demanded. "Show me the marriage certificate." "Don't have it on me," Jack replied. "It's filed at the courthouse. But you're welcome to ride to Silver Creek and check. Judge Harmon will remember us. It was a bluff, a dangerous one." But Jack was counting on these men being too lazy or too stupid to make the journey. Silver Creek was 40 miles away over rough terrain. Taggart studied Jack's face, looking for signs of deception. Jack met his gaze without flinching. He'd faced down grizzly bears and outlaws. He wasn't about to back down from scum like this. She don't look much like a happy bride," one of Taggart's men said, gesturing to Anna's injuries. "She took a fall off her horse yesterday," Jack said smoothly. "Landed hard. I've been tending to her wounds." Anna found her voice. Then it trembled, but held steady. "I am his wife. I chose him freely. Whatever arrangement my uncle made with you is no concern of mine." Taggart's face turned purple with rage. He took a step forward. Jack moved in front of Anna, completely blocking her from view. The rancher might have been called a lonely giant, but right now he looked like a mountain that wouldn't be moved. "You need to leave my property," Jack said quietly. Now, for a long moment, nobody moved. The air crackled with tension. Jack's hand drifted toward the gun on his hip. He wasn't a violent man by nature, but he'd protect what was his dot. And somehow, in the span of 10 minutes, Anna had become his. Taggart finally backed down. He wasn't stupid enough to start a gunfight with a man who had both sides and the law on his side. Marriage was legally binding. Without proof otherwise, he had no claim. "This ain't over," Taggart snarled. "I'll be checking with that judge you do that," Jack replied. "And when you find out I'm telling the truth, you stay away from my wife. If I see you on my land again, I won't be so polite." The three men left muttering threats. Jack waited until the sound of hooves faded before he released Anna's hand. She immediately collapsed against the wall, shaking with relief. "Thank you," she sobbed. "Thank you, thank you, thank you." Jack fetched water and cleaned bandages. He tended her wounds while she cried. When she finally calmed down, she looked at him with wonder. "Why did you help me?" "You don't even know me." Jack was quiet for a moment. "Because it was the right thing to do. And because nobody should be bought and sold like livestock, but you told them we're married." "What happens when Taggart checks with the judge and finds out you lied?" Jack had been thinking about that. "Then we make it true." Anna's eyes went wide. "What?" "We ride to Silver Creek tomorrow and get married for real," Jack explained. "It's the only way to keep you safe legally. Once we're actually wed, Taggart has no claim on you whatsoever." "But that's crazy," Anna protested. "You can't marry a complete stranger just to save her from a bad situation." Jack met her gaze. "I've been alone a long time, Miss Hayes. Folks around here avoid me because of my size. They think I'm some kind of dangerous brute. But you're sitting here letting me tend your wounds. You're not afraid of me?" "Should I be?" Anna asked softly. "No," Jack said simply. "I'm just a man who works his land and minds his own business. And if marrying you keeps you safe, then that's what we'll do. You can leave whenever you want. I won't hold you to anything. But as long as you need protection, you'll have it." Anna studied his weathered face. There was honesty there, kindness, strength. In a world that had shown her nothing but cruelty, this gentle giant was offering her freedom. "All right," she whispered. "Let's go to Silver Creek." They married the next day, with Judge Harmon as witness. It was a simple ceremony. No fancy words. Just two people making a choice to stand together against the darkness. What started as a lie became something real. Anna brought light to Jack's lonely ranch. He gave her safety and respect. Over time, respect grew into friendship. Friendship deepened into something neither of them expected. Love. 6 months later, when Taggart finally did show up to check on the marriage, he found Anna laughing in the garden while Jack built a new fence. They looked at each other the way people do when they've chosen each other freely, when they've built something true from broken pieces. Taggart rode away defeated. You can't fight that kind of bond. Sometimes the best things in life start with a desperate moment and a stranger's kindness. Sometimes a lie told in protection becomes the truest thing you've ever said. If this story moved you, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Leave a comment telling us about a time someone stood up for you when you needed it most. Your story could inspire someone else today.